We all entered yesterday's Microsoft press conference with a ton of anticipation. Would Project Scorpio be the game changer that Xbox needed to help level the playing field with Sony and their PlayStation, or would it merely be an overpriced and unessential upgrade? Well, after watching the show, reading the reports, and playing the console myself, I think we may have an answer. What's up, everybody? It's Ghost Robo, and let me get this out of the way. The Xbox One X is a very powerful machine. It's frankly the most powerful machine, and it can do great things. What this console ends up being years down the line is very hard to predict. All I can do is give you my take right here, right now, after witnessing their reveal and after seeing what it can do and reading what it's all about. I found myself uttering the word yikes more than anything else yesterday during Microsoft's press conference, and that's not the word you want to be saying when you're watching a big, bold, exciting E3 presser, especially one that reveals a brand new system. But at almost every turn, save for the cool and unique indie titles, I found myself just saying yikes, because it seems like they completely missed the boat on what would have made this an excellent unveiling. You have the Xbox One X. First off, the name. Scorpio is sexy, Scorpio is sleek, Scorpio sounds futuristic and exciting. Xbox One X kind of sounds confusing. You now have the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and the Xbox One X. Very, very similar and reminds me of a Nintendo debacle last generation. Xbox One S is supposed to be a better Xbox One. It's slim, it can do HDR, supposedly it's a little better, and now you have the Xbox One X, which is even slimmer, it's even more powerful, has 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, all of the memory, all of the teraflops. But how does a basic consumer distinguish these two on the shelf? I really wish that the Xbox One X, even if it has that name, which I don't like, would look dramatically different or in some way more powerful and better than the Xbox One S in particular. Both consoles look better than the Xbox One, that's for sure, but next to each other at first glance, it's hard to tell which one is the premier unit. Now, set aside that and assume that you do know, hey, the Xbox One X is the strong, great platform, and Xbox One S is the previous, stronger but not strongest platform, and let's evaluate what they put on display. The big thing we all wanted Microsoft to do, I think regardless of a Scorpio, was show us a lineup that made Xbox essential. What games do they have that make you want that console over any of the others? And then specifically with the Xbox One X, if I already own an Xbox One, or if I already own a PlayStation 4, why would I pick the $500 Xbox One X? And of course, it is powerful, it is a massive monster of a machine that delivers insane graphics for a console. And it can do all of that. That is all true. They unlocked an extra gig of RAM. Everything they promised spec-wise was delivered. So thumbs up for that. But beyond those numerical statistics, what is there? There are really no games to encourage customers to buy this box. They basically have Forza Motorsport 7 and Crackdown 3 as their holiday retail titles, their fall retail titles. Without an Xbox One X, that still is a very, very small and I think weak lineup. And I think they must know that because they didn't even demo Crackdown 3. Is Crackdown a brand that even brings excitement anymore? I'm sure there's some people that are very looking forward to the destruction and the multiplayer potential of that title. And obviously there is a core group that loves their Forza titles. But what do these games do for anyone that isn't already invested in the Xbox ecosystem? Not much. And what do these games do for someone who already has a current gen console and is looking to upgrade to PS4 Pro or Xbox One X? Even less. Forza will look fantastic, that's great. Crackdown 3's graphics don't even fully take advantage of what the Xbox One X can offer. And then the rest of the lineup was befuddling. For the most part, it was non-existent. And two of the more creative, interesting titles in Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 got shifted to next year. And those aren't even games that really push visuals in the first place. So you have this box with all of this power, and they talk it up. And it's true what they're saying, but they never show us why. They demoed Assassin's Creed Origins, it looked great. I played Assassin's Creed Origins on Xbox One X, it looks fantastic, it is beautiful. But they didn't show us anything else really of why we need this box, why it has all this power, what is it worth, what is the point of it, and why do we need to spend $500 to get it? You know, most people have a PC or have a PS4 or have an Xbox One, and I don't think that Microsoft did a good job at all of trying to make a pitch for why you would want an Xbox One Scorpio on top of that. Yes, if you're entering this generation for the first time, you probably are going to go the Scorpio or the PS4 Pro route. But if I was there with you in the store, I would offer a warning and say, buyer beware. Just get a PS4. Just get an Xbox One S. They dropped the Xbox One S to $250 with a game, and you can get that and play all of this year's hits, and you'll be just fine. Because unless you have a 4K TV, unless you are a pixel person, it's not really that crazy of a difference. And there are no games exclusively to Xbox One X that take huge advantage of it, at least right now. And of course, they still will have the multi-platform titles on Xbox One X, and they will most likely, at our best guess, look better than the PS4 Pro counterpart. So stuff that are the huge sellers for the holidays, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Call of Duty World War 2, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, those are going to look, in theory, the best for consoles on Xbox One X, and that's great. But is it enough to justify $500? I think we were all kind of hoping it would come in at $400. $500 is quite a bit of cash, and I feel like this holiday season, if you're looking to supplement your existing console with something, sure, you could invest in power with PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. We don't know Sony's lineup yet. Most likely they'll have a couple of exclusives. We know that Xbox One X is bringing you Forza and Crackdown with the promise of Sea of Thieves and eventually State of Decay 2, but I think the Switch is probably the best supplement this year. It is a $300 machine that does things differently, that has a huge slew of exclusives. It's bringing you a new Zelda, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and a brand new Super Mario for the holiday season, plus a whole bunch of other titles, and an indie platform to take on the go. That kind of seems like the smarter supplement to your pre-existing PS4 or Xbox One. And again, like, just where are the games, even if they weren't coming out this year? I mean, I think it's a huge blunder to know that you're releasing this Xbox One X and not have some mega title plan to take advantage of it. I mean, I think that if you just take out this entire console, remove it from the equation, you look at Xbox and them as a platform holder, what the heck do they have game-wise? You know, we see Gears of War and Halo kind of on the decline. They're still very popular. There's still people that love those games. They're still great games, but in terms of their popularity, their overall imprint on the internet and in gamers' minds, it's on the decline. So what seeds are they sowing for the future? Anthem looks really cool. That's not exclusive. That's not coming out for over a year, probably a year and a half, maybe more. Where is the promise for the Xbox lineup beyond right now? I mean, this year already, Sony has released Horizon Zero Dawn. They had the Persona 5 exclusive. They put out Neo. They've put out quite a bit. The Wipeout collection, they've got Crash. You know, we're assuming to see more tonight. What is going on? And I know that there was some tortured development with both Crackdown 3 and Scalebound, and eventually Scalebound bit the dust, but it seems very strange that you know you're releasing a new box, and you know that a great game is the way to push this thing. Something that, even if it does obviously work on all Xboxes, really shows, man, that Xbox One X is incredible. Man, it looks great. Man, I gotta have that, and I want to play that game right there. Because I don't think it's worth $500 to have your Assassin's Creed or your Star Wars look a little bit better. I just don't think it is at this point. And maybe fall 2018, you know, they have a whole bunch of games that are awesome and really take advantage and use those teraflops. Maybe they're viewing this as a soft launch to get it out there. Maybe next E3 they drop the price to $400. It's much more comparable, or even $350. They put out better games. Their exclusives are realized and they're ready to go. Maybe it just was a lot of unfortunate events that led to them having a very barren fall season and not a whole lot to promise for 2018. But as it stands right now, it is very hard to justify an Xbox One X pre-order and an eventual Xbox One X purchase. I will probably check one out because I want to see what it can do. I want to review it for you guys. I want to experience it, you know, in my home. But yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I'm curious to know your thoughts. What did you think of the Xbox One X? What do you think of their lineup? I mean, I kept hearing that Xbox was going to have a small lineup, and I held out, like, fingers crossed that they would deliver an ace up their sleeve that would be this incredible game, some new IP, or just a resurgent exclusive that took full advantage and pushed power in ways that we weren't even ready for. And when I heard about the smaller lineup, I thought it was State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, Forza, and Crackdown. And only half of those are making this year. And one of those releases alongside the Xbox One X, and I don't even know how many people care. They didn't even bring that out on stage to do a demo. It was very strange. And look, I applaud their creativity. I applaud their embracing of the idea at Xbox studios and games. I like that they, revealed Metro Exodus. I think that looked really cool. Anthem looks incredibly cool. They're not exclusives. They're not coming out this year. And they're not going to sit alongside the Xbox One X on store shelves at $500. So I'm worried for it. And I wonder where things went wrong, because this can't be the way that you want to launch your biggest, best, most powerful system of all time. And it still holds that record. It still is that. It is the best system. But without games and without a whole lot of other reasons, it's going to be a real interesting situation come November 7th. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying E3. There's a whole lot more goodness to be had. I will be keeping up to date on all the games for Xbox, for PlayStation, for the Switch, and more analysis and opinions. Until that time, everybody, let me know what you think of the Xbox One X in the comments down below. If you plan on getting one, if you're worried like me, if you think it was weird that they didn't really have much ready. I mean, okay, like the focus on the past is interesting, right? I appreciate their backwards compatibility love, but that's not really why you're spending $500. Just seems like they missed the mark. But you guys never miss the mark. I love you all. You're awesome and incredible. Thank you for being here with me for this E3 2017. Until next time, drink so much salt. Thanks again, and we will see you all later.